Um, Good evening. This is the meeting of the Architectural and Historic Review Board on June 13. The next meeting will be held on June 27th. And let's start with the first application, which is on 10 Lawrence Avenue. Anybody for 10 Lawrence Avenue? Awnings and signs.
Oh, 10 Lawrence?
10 Lawrence.
Come up to the microphone, please. I'm Jack Green, I represent Eagle One Boarding Company.
All right. Can you present your this is your
Yes,
application
we propose
for
to
sign?
put up some awnings for Olga.
Okay.
Pretty much standard type awnings. Very little lettering on them. I think there's about roughly 3 square feet on all three of them. With a little half-inch stripe. It's pretty much standard for the whole area of this company.
So the lettering is what we see here as
Excuse me, I can't hear you.
the lettering. It's what we see here as Alta.
It's 4 inches.
Yes. All right.
4-inch high.
It's this one's here, right? In the middle?
Yes, yes.
All right. You guys have any comment?
Can I see them? Oh, I'm sorry, finish. If it meets the requirements, can I see from here?
So this, what's you saying, there's lettering on the awning as well as the sign?
Yes, that's right.
You haven't shown that.
Yes, but it should be on the, on my line.
I guess not.
There's no picture of the intended sign.
The sign, we really don't have too much to do with. As far as the sign is.
Space and this is the only.
It's only 4 inches.
So just to understand the fabric, it's gonna
It's called weather tight.
it's watertight and the color will be matching.
It's fire retardant.
Do you have a sample? There you go.
Please take the
Ah,
microphone.
that's nice. Thanks, Colin.
I'll make a motion that we approve this application.
Second.
Approve.
Thank you.
You can take this.
Oh, that's, I think that's pretty much.
Oh, okay.
You want this? You can take it.
49 Clinton, we have on the agenda.
Sign it.
The master schools, anybody from master schools?
We didn't receive anything.
Yeah.
So I can save it for later or print it out.
Sorry, and where is the
background. Let's get back to the microphone.
Thank you.
No, sorry.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Bob Horn from the Master School. And just to sort of recap where we were last time, we were talking about 3 signs on Clinton Avenue, one at the corner of Broadway in Clinton, one at the main entrance to the school, and then one further up with access to Park Field in City Term. Coming out of that meeting, remember we had reduced the size of both signs at Broadway and Clinton, and the main time, and your request was that we take a look at making smaller the sign at the City Term and Park Field entrance. And that's what we've done. So this is the sign for the 2, Clinton and Broadway, and the main sign. Again, those are reduced at a third in the original proposal. So what we're suggesting is using one of our the same size as one of our internal buildings ID signs to be the same size for the City Term. And that's about 3.7 square feet. The sign there is about 8 feet tall versus the 11 on the pole of that one, so we reduce it substantially. And also add on that sheet, we'd ask for the height and stuff above grade and the like that is on the page there.
Can you point me which sign goes where in the map? So we have type
Yeah, in terms of
type D, type, the type.
these 2 type D,
Okay.
okay, would go up Clinton and Broadway.
Okay.
As originally, not as originally proposed, as
Got it.
revised. This would go to the main entrance there by Cochrane, going
Got it.
to Esterwood, and this would be the one up. And this really isn't technically a street name that I'm aware of, but on the entrance to City Field and City Term, soon to be Park Field.
And I will assume that you will work out the location of the sign on Broadway and.
Yes, yes.
Because-
Given the other signs that are there, we want to look at, obviously, what would make it so it's visible and clear, and also in terms of cleaning up, I think some of the, especially now in the summer, it's got to be overgrown, and I think that could be made more attractive all around that corner.
Yes,
So
there's a
the-
lot of foliage there, I think. There's a lot of trees are overgrown.
Right, right.
So the final location of that sign, we will know when.
I'm sorry.
The final location of the sign, we will know when. The final location,
The
final.
final location, well, we want to go down there and look at it.
Okay.
Basically, what those other signs are plotted out. That is our, the school does own that corner. We're responsible for maintaining the sidewalk along Broadway, at least down to Stop and Shop.
For
Are you
me,
gonna do any kind of like mock-up or place anything there? Are you gonna do a mock-up?
Well,
or
we
place
had
anything?
shown last time, yeah, if I can go back here again, I'm sorry, let's go, minimize that. Back to my. I don't know. And then, signs and miscellaneous there. So this was a mock-up based on the older size of the signs before we reduced them. And so again, it's taken, these leaves, as you can see. So we want to look at that in terms of make sure it's the cleanest and best placement. And likewise with this, we have it next to the current sign, but it's set back enough so that it gets 2 sides so people can see it from both ways, but it's not overhanging the street or anything like that.
for me, it's a fair compromise, and yes, I'm fine.
Okay?
We're just gonna need a survey showing the locations before the permit.
Okay, so I surveyed when we did the turf field.
So you can use that survey
And
and just,
Okay.
designate an X or anything where it is.
These Needs what, sorry?
Just make a copy of your survey from the field and just mark,
Okay,
you know,
will
on
do.
that where you're gonna put the signs.
Okay,
So we need to know where your property starts at that corner.
right.
Right, so
It's
we
really
make,
from the sidewalk in, like I said, we're responsible for the sidewalk.
Well, you're responsible for maintaining the sidewalk, but the village right of way.
Right.
is-
Right, we're gonna set back up, so we'll give you a survey with the little X marks the spot, I guess, right?
so
Okay,
do we make an approval condition to
Based on its
final
on
final
your property.
location? All right, so we make a motion to approve this sign.
Whoa, whoa,
Please, I'm sorry.
whoa.
I'm sorry.
right.
Please,
Hey,
any neighbors?
Bob?
yes,
Could you,
Excuse me, sir, you need
Yes.
to come up to the
You need,
microphone
yeah.
and address the chair.
Please address the
Not-
Sure, no problem.
work that new hip.
Thank you. Good to see you. There's a few folks
Agreed.
from Clinton Avenue here
Okay.
that have some things that they would like to
Absolutely.
discuss before
Absolutely.
you go and approve it.
Fine. Fair enough.
Now, what Bob handed you, my name is James Ahrb, 70 Clinton Avenue. Okay? What did Bob hand you? Is that a redesign of the size of the sign?
What we got is a package. You're welcome to see it. Can you hand them one copy of what we just got?
Actually, none of these are new sizes. What we did is we eliminated the larger main sign
Agreed.
size. Stepped back to the smaller size for the two signs on Clinton and Broadway. And then the third one that says city term in Clark Field, we went to the building ID sign, which is significantly smaller. So none of them are new, we just stepped them down to where they're gonna be used.
Could you, for the sake of the sports fans,
Okay?
tell them what the size of, the new size of the signs are?
Okay. Let me just get back a little
I mean, we had this discussion earlier today, I thought it was very helpful.
Could you pull up the old signs, what was originally proposed? Because I think for comparison, it would be good to see that compared to what is here.
The picture that he just showed
Is the old sign.
is the old sign, is
Yes.
the old size.
Yes. This is the new sign, as I understand it.
So you know what might be helpful is to show the original proposal. To give you a sense of the scale differences. So I'll hold it here so everybody can see.
Great.
This is what we originally proposed for Broadway, Clinton, and going into Clocker by the main sign. This was going to be more directional signage. We reduced this is like 15, almost 16 square feet, it's like 11 and a half square feet the sign itself. So we moved it down to this sign size for the two signs at Clocker and one at Broadway. And this building sign is now limited in proportion to one of the city term in Clark Field, so you can get a sense of the relative size from what we originally talked about.
And the height of the new sign is, the cross post,
When you say the new sign, you mean the smaller sign?
this one, this new size. this is
It's
new
on the
size.
screen. Can you read it
It's
right
on the
off the screen? It's
Okay.
right on the screen behind you.
Instead of 11 feet, it's 9 feet?
No, this one, those are 11 feet.
This is
The
9
two main
feet, right?
ones, right. That one's 9. Yeah, I think so. You got 9, right?
Yep.
I think I get one of you guys my copy, my right.
Did you have any other comments?
Oh, yeah. No, I'll wait for my neighbor to go. Okay. Sorry I missed all the fun. I've been disabled, just had a hip replacement. Did you get my letter of May 7th?
Probably, I don't recall.
Okay.
just to catch up. Initially, I heard there were going to be illumination on the sign.
No longer.
That is inaccurate.
No longer. Excellent. Things happen when you're in the hospital. Size has gone down, great. This is for your record. I live in the pink house across the street. What the master school has done over the last 15 years has changed our life drastically. And there's a record of promises, broken promises on that, in that letter that have been cited, things that were promised to the village boards that have not been done and delivered. I support the master school, basically, but given I've been watching your proceedings on TV, and I can tell that none of you live on Clinton, do you?
No.
Or anywhere near, really near the school. So you don't really get the impact of what's happening there. Follow? Living right across the street, we've had to spend thousands of dollars on landscaping to protect ourselves from the effect of what's happened on Clinton because of the master school. The comment was made at the last meeting that none of this has affected property values in the area. We live in a quote-unquote historical district, that section. The only thing that's historical in that district, because all the buildings are considered commercial, according to Tyler, the recent assessment, the Women's Club, and the houses down the street to Wits End, which is the condominium. The only historical building now is the Pink House, which is a joke. And I'm the joke. I'm going to have to get up every day and look at this sign. And Bob and I talked about it months ago. I don't like the design. I believe in the concept of wayfinding. I think that's a great idea. The design of the sign has stuff on it. The seal of the school, is that correct?
The watermark.
Watermark in the background, which if you really look at it, kind of, and if you've never seen it before, it kind of looks like it's a little dirty. I think they could do a better job in designing the sign and making it clearer. Okay? I'm going to have to wake up every morning and look at a mistake, which as a painter, as an artist, makes me insane. The other thing that's going on is color. Nobody has discussed the color of these things. It's sort of a gray Kool-Aid color. And I pulled the Benjamin Moore historical color charts, and there are no purples in the historical color charts. But I am recommending a change in the tone of the purple and the white, to give it a little weight, to make it fit better into the environment, into the look of the landscaping surrounding it. I like the purple-white colors of the Masters that Bob has on his chest, but what they're using is something called Pantone 268, which I agree. It is what it is. It's bright when you see it. There's a little sign up there right now in a little plastic directional sign in that color, so you can see how it pops against the landscape. So, here's the pictures of the sign, right?
Yep.
That purple. That purple is this purple, which is very bright, for sitting in a landscape, that's 268. You see how it stands out against natural areas?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So my recommendation is to go to 269,
Which
just
is
drop it down.
darker.
It has a little more weight in it.
Well, you're looking at a gloss one too versus a satin, uncoated color. So that's a little.
No, I'm familiar. Let me do.
I would also suggest something along this line with white dove to give it some weight. Because these signs have to sit in the landscape and hold themselves visually. You see what I'm saying? Or perhaps gentle violet, this color. And a white that doesn't pop against that purple, which is very bright. Okay, has that been considered, has that been discussed?
I think it would be something that needs to be discussed with.
I know, I'm sure that is the Pantone color a standard school color on every?
It's our color for everything.
It's your color for everything.
So, I mean, like Northwestern or NYU has the purple color, I'm sorry, it's our color. I can't change it for one particular use.
Well, when I had to come in front of the Architectural Review Board for the color of my house, we had a similar, I like this pink, but I had to drop it down a little bit.
Could I offer the following suggestion? Could I offer the following suggestion?
Sure.
Colors under this lighting and colors in this room aren't going to look like colors applied outside. The same way a print color is not going to look the same way when it's applied to a sign. You may want to consider looking at a few different variations on the actual color, on the Pantone color, which will still give you what you need in terms of a brand color, but also reduce the brightness of it. It might be something that you would want to consider to look at a few variations of color tone before you finalize the color.
I think that's a great idea. I think what we'll see is that doing that would hold the ground better and hold the image in the landscape better and look more solid. Which I want the master school to look more solid, more durable than this floating purple.
But I also think it is fair.
Highly subjective. We've been here 7 weeks. We come back. People have raised the purple issue before. I mean, James, I know you've been out, but to come up now and say, oh, there's a problem with the purple. 7 weeks since our first meeting, it just seems like we should have, to go back again. I mean, I'm happy to look at it with the coding and is there a way to, the white that we use, so, to your point, it's, legible and clear, but maybe not too, contrasty. So, but I just think, we addressed what the comments were, the last 3 meetings, and now, we could keep going forever. I just think it's gonna look better, James, to have these 3 signs be consistent, in unison, as opposed to, it will allow us to get rid of some of those individual signs that are sitting there, just adding to the clutter. So I think we'll just look cleaner and neater, and frankly, more aesthetically pleasing, to the neighborhood than how we're currently addressing it now, with our limited ability to sort of provide directional ways.
I understand, Bob, and I appreciate your concern. I just have to look at this sign every day when I wake up. That's the first thing I'll see. It'll be right next to the sunrise. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Okay. Thank you for your suggestion. Sorry I missed the fun.
I'm John Vecchione, I'm at 78 Clinton Avenue. Bob, I'd just like to address one issue. You just stated it. We have a clutter of 5 signs there today. Which ones are you going to eliminate?
the directional signs coming off the main sign, we're gonna have the ability to modify some of that by hanging something below it that's on the sign. Okay, so we'll be able to put more directional signs, indication on the sign. And I think we'll be able to get, like open house, we don't have to put a sign on the ground, we'll be able to put that on the directional sign as they pull in.
I understand that. I want to know, there are 5 signs there today. Which ones you claim, you said you're going to get rid of some of the clutter?
We can keep the clutter if you like.
I don't want the clutter. I'd like to put the sign on the building.
Right, okay, so that would go away. The Fonseca Center directional would be
What about the sign behind it?
No, I mean, they would be, the information is part of the wayfinding that has to be in terms of what goes on what. But in other words, so going to Esterwood in the middle school would most likely be combined with the directions of the Fonseca Center because they're all the same way.
So we're putting up this big sign here, right? We're putting the big sign here, right here, on that entrance. And we're gonna leave the other 5 signs?
No, so we're gonna get rid of these directional signs and put new ones, okay?
But we're still gonna have 5 signs.
No, I don't think, okay. This one, we're gonna combine. I don't know what the other one, we have to have wayfinding information on it,
But they're all out by this curve.
right, so our goal will be we're still gonna have some, obviously, a few signs that provide the wayfinding direction.
So.
But I'm saying is, also the new signs will allow us to have, if we want to, a little drop down, okay? So we can put something in here versus, again, doing a temporary sign as it's done by like this, which I don't think is, I think we all agree is not an attractive option.
That's your sign diagram. What I see are 5 signs along the edge of the property in different sizes. But will you be removing the other signs that are,
I mean, these are the 3 on.
those, yeah,
Right.
then there's these that are directional,
These
the
directional
smaller
is
scale.
what we're redoing, right?
Right.
Right.
But my understanding then is those directional signs, which are smaller than the signs there today, will be replacing those big wood signs.
Yeah, those wood signs will be gone.
You're gonna replace this sign?
Yes, again, with the design that's consistent with the overall aesthetic.
That type of sign.
That sign is going to go here, in front of a monument sign.
Well, the monument's probably gonna go away.
You keep saying probably. Are you gonna get approval without formally telling us what the signage finally is gonna look like?
I think I have to sort of agree that, but our internal agreement is to get rid of the, once we get this new sign, which we've been struggling to get, is that we no longer will need to have this monument sign. It's not historic, it's probably from like the 70s. Okay, we probably keep the brass plaque on it, just for our archives. But again, to help clean up the overall.
This stone looks like,
Sorry?
this stone, this one, right?
Yeah, they're gonna keep the plaque and get rid of the stone.
That was just for
This plaque will
graduation,
be somewhere
welcoming
else.
people in. This is the cloth sign that.
No, we're not gonna worry about that.
Just to clarify, so this final signage plan represent this actual signage layout plan. This is the final signage layout.
Yes.
So at the end of the day.
That we're looking to roll out over time.
Understood.
Right.
So over time, though, these will be the only signs along Clinton Avenue.
Well,
The
just
ones
these
that are
three.
designated.
Right. That's
Okay.
correct. Right.
No.
Well, and the stop sign.
It'll be all the directional.
Well, the directional signs,
Well,
they're gonna be
they're only
placed
10
back.
feet in from Clinton Avenue.
They're gonna be
Which
set back a little bit.
is on their property. So that's clear. That on Clinton, over time, the only 3 signs that will be on Clinton Avenue are those 3 signs on the curb for directional and
Right,
wayfinding
or
like
there's
you
a stop
presented.
sign.
Understood.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so any sign within 10 feet into the property is legal?
I don't,
Well,
I just want a clarification on what will be on Long Clinton and what will be set back from the property line.
Right.
well, setback, what do you mean by setback? How many feet?
So there's a D5 sign. It's in line with the overall layout is all I was asking. That was what I was clarifying.
We still have 5 signs on that corner. And, I mean, one of your arguments were, the original sign was you needed to know where the entrance was. because people didn't know they were coming up Clinton Avenue and seeing the Masters. Well, if you didn't know you were approaching something on your left as you come in Clinton Avenue, you were in trouble.
It's good, it's enhance the easeability of finding it and turning into that entrance, which is a little convoluted here now. And it's part of the, you know, the overall idea of the school.
All I'm asking you is you have 5 signs now, you're telling me there's still gonna be 5 signs.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, you know, once we combine them, okay, but we have to agree as to what's gonna require, okay, for example, Strayer Hall, we may drop off the list. Okay, we have to go through, you know, we're trying to be as efficient as possible. And make some decisions like, for example, will it say Fonseca Center, or are we better off saying gym and pool? So for people who are coming in. So we're trying to be efficient in our language and most literal to people, so that they know where to go when they pull in.
Will the other signs be the same size as these are?
But they're gonna be like
The
this,
small,
the directional size. They're gonna be that,
the B type, the reduced
that size of the main sign. Just those couple of them.
Will
As
they
you go
be
in.
lower to the ground? Are they gonna be higher?
Currently, they're the same size.
wait, I lost you there. We are talking about, we have 2 signs, one at the corner of Clinton and one at the.
Yes, now we're
Only
talking,
two.
now we're talking about.
We are
the
talking
other
about the small.
No, that's the
What?
sign at the next entrance. What are the size of the directional signs that are gonna be all over the property?
The direction, I understand, is type B.
Okay, so those are the building signs. So, now, what we're proposing here is, in this case, okay, here's the main sign, the size D, would be 2 other D-size signs as you go into the property to provide the main wayfinding once you pull in.
They are further back on the property. They're not right up at the front,
Right.
and they're not in the same place as the wood sign is today.
Well, the only sign that's right up in front is this one.
Yes.
Which I hope you'd like to get rid of.
That will be replaced.
I can't hear you, sorry?
That will be replaced.
Yes, those will be gone.
So are you saying that these
Well,
2 signs won't exist?
This one will be replaced.
Yeah.
Will another sign go in this position
No,
here?
not in that
These
position.
would be replaced with same consistent looking directional
Correct, it will
signage.
be replaced.
Further in.
Further
That-
in. Right.
You didn't say that. So that's what I'm saying, you're ready to give
It's
approval.
on the drawing.
We
No,
don't-
It's
no,
on,
no,
it's
it's on
on.
the
We
drawing.
were not giving ready to do anything. We were trying to say that at least we decided there will be 2 type D signs, one at the corner of Clinton and Broadway, and one at the, what do you call it, this one, on the entry.
Right.
That's the 2 type D that we are willing to accept as a compromise, that we've been talking about it for a few times. The second decision that we said is that the type B sign will be on, this is a small one. That's what we were talking about. Now, I think there is a valid point on reconsidering the purple, but if the 268 is very important, I guess I will respect that. However, maybe you will take his
You wouldn't let it
consideration.
in front of your house. You wouldn't.
James, it's an aesthetic. We come to it, I don't want paint on their house, James, but you like it, but it's our
No,
look.
but I
I
think,
had to go through 7 colors to this group,
Jim,
and that's what they picked.
question for you is,
Yes,
if the purple will change if he brings it up like the white dolls, a different, not a white on purple 268, but if you tone it up, everything comes down, I think. And if it's not shiny, it's a matte finish, I think it could be good. I'm willing to ask you to do a sample for Jim to see, but I think
a
it's gonna be
sample would be great. I'd love to see it. We could all look at it.
yeah, but I think it will be acceptable. Tone up the white instead of going into an off-white direction.
In terms of the lettering, you're.
Yes,
lettering,
in
yeah.
terms of the lettering.
The lettering, the color stays the same, but the lettering, you bring it up, I know what
Can we try 269?
you can try to
Can
convince.
we try it?
It's
Which
almost,
was the
it's almost an 8.
269? Is that the darkest one?
Dark.
Yeah,
It's a
That
darker,
may go
but it's
black.
not.
It's
pretty darn close.
It may go very close to black in that location.
No, it doesn't. It won't, because you're expanding it, and it will show bigger, show brighter.
But it's not illuminated, it doesn't get much of the street light. I know people thought it would, it doesn't actually, because we took some pictures at night, and the street lights on the other side, so it won't be getting, you know, it won't be benefiting from the street light lighting it up, but you know, we're not talking about illumination.
Yeah, well, I think that if you bring in the contrast, or if you turn up the off-white, I think the perception of the purple will change. And that's, you know, to his point.
And Jay, we're not looking for it to be a glossy, reflective.
No, I know, I understand
We want
that.
to have a richer, you know.
I understand that. I'm just saying richer would be just a little more gravitas to it. And this also means I can put a sign in front of my house for the Cock Run Inn, right? Same size?
It's up to the boss here. If it's
I mean, if we're going commercial on Clinton, we might as well I'll put up Cock Run Inn.
That discussion, I think.
I think it's the
You guys
same
know
sign,
that,
right?
you know.
Make an application.
Based on this.
Is there any other comments?
I'm more than happy to
There's
to
one
look
more
at the
comment.
color contrasting and see if we can, you know, we want it to look, you know, aesthetically rich and pleasing as well, so we don't want it to be,
I agree.
you know, jarring.
Understand. Any more comments? Yes.
My name is Ruth Gastel. I live at 136 Clinton Avenue, almost opposite the city sign. We have a huge light there, which invades the whole property, the downstairs bedroom. And I think there's plenty of light for people to see going to city term. And I would ask, when do people go to city term? They're mostly apartment dwellers who know where they're going. Are the people wandering around the property that don't go to the administrative building first and get directed to this little lane? It seems to me that we don't need a big sign there. We need just, if you want to put something, just put it at ground level. We don't need a big sign, just like a big pattern of signs going up Clinton Avenue. And I agree with all the other people who said that they have changed the nature of our whole properties right up to Johnson. And I wrote you a letter about this, all the different things that have happened. And now with the closing of the school and no cars, which have been right down from Judson all the way down, it's just like the old days. It's such a relief not to have the cars going up and down. And I would just request that maybe you reconsider the city term sign altogether, or have it at ground level. Who goes there, besides the people who already know they're living there?
Other teams go there to play in Park Field, okay, who aren't familiar with the, you know, the geography, so opposing teams, bus drivers and the like.
Yeah, but they have a GPS.
And we're,
They have GPS. They can just
the
go
sign
like
is
anybody else.
3.6 square feet. I mean, it's not hard.
This is a residential area, a historic residential area. My house was built in 1861. And steadily, we have the big light. We have now, because you've eliminated the parking lot in order to expand, we have 100 cars parked from Clinton Avenue all the way up to Judson. So please consider just leaving the two signs, eliminating the one at City Town. Thank you.
Any more comments? You want?
No, I understand understand and appreciate your concern, I mean, which is why we reduced it by over 2/3, okay, what we had originally proposed, the square footage of that sign, lowered it, and I think it's gonna be a good-looking sign, and again, the people going to city term, the people going to Clark Field, I just wanna be able to give them that directions to do that. I don't even know, you go on the Google Maps, that street isn't even identified, so somebody putting in that, I don't think they can put in that street name. I don't know what the name of the street is, do you? I looked on the map today, it's not on Google Maps, so again, that probably wouldn't even work at GPS for that street sign to get to Clark Field and the people going in and out into city term.
Or you could just put a street sign. You put a street sign, just the regular colors, you know, the municipal kind of street sign.
I think you'll find it not, obtrusive and at all. A nice granite post. I mean, I think it's going to look nicer than what we have.
No, because the one that we have sort of fades into the environment, and it's very low, or relatively low.
Okay. So
Not bright
any
purple.
comments then? Closing comments? Any comments? Brenda?
Just one comment is based on what James was saying, would you be willing to consider the tone either with the lettering or the background on the color?
Consider, I'm sorry.
Consider another option,
For the
toning it,
the
down,
color-wise.
different color-wise. Either the lettering or the background.
You mean like reversing it and doing purple lettering?
No,
on
no,
white?
No,
Adjusting
just
the color.
notching it up or down slightly.
But which way? I'm uncertain. I understand.
The
Which-
white being to the off-whites and the
Correct.
purple to the
Slightly
69.
darker one, right?
Yeah. It's
Because I
11
think
point-
it's a valid
11 points of
suggestion.
black in the mix, when Pantone, they're very specific. It's an 11-point increase in black, which gives it the weight.
Okay, I mean.
Would the
after
school
that,
be
then
willing-
There'll be more, there'll be another round. I just wish, and I just feel like we're,
On my end, personal end, I guess I am okay with the two type Ds
right,
where we discussed, the type B on the, whatever it's called, where you proposed it. My only comment will be, I think the off-white will help the
Mhm.
signage. It will improve the signage. It's a recommendation.
okay, we can look at that. What would you think about if we flipped it to a white with the purple lettering? Where's James?
I think, I looked at that, and I think it would,
It's not, it's not what we'd like, but I'm just trying to,
I think it'll be brighter.
it would be brighter, and I don't think you'd be able to put your image, float your image in the background.
no, well, we could, if we looked at it, but,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to,
I think even
Make
if you
progress.
tone the lettering to
Okay.
the off-white, it might help.
I'm
If you
happy to
can-
look at that.
I think that with a combination of the matte finish
Right.
on the metal,
Yeah.
Which is
it'll
what
definitely look
we're
more
looking
toned down.
At doing anyway.
Yeah, it's a matte finish, it's agreed,
It
and if
might
you,
be something that we just
in an
need to
off-white,
and approve it.
and we can give a conditional approval to
Conditional.
the presenting the sample, but if that's okay with.
Can we just see a sample of them?
Well, it's a
I
conditional
mean, I'll
approval,
help you.
it's a conditional approval to presenting the final sample of the colors. Yes?
So the sizes of the signs and the
Are approved.
locations
Approved.
are approved.
So I make a
Would be-
motion,
Would be approved.
I'll make a motion that we approved this application condition with these conditions. The first condition is you will be providing us a sample for the final colors, which taking into account our preference of an off-white, let's say a dove white you mentioned?
I'd like to see 269 with dove white,
Okay, 269 with dove white as a sample for our,
and then 268.
and 268 with an
the white
off,
that they're gonna use.
yeah, an off-white.
So we could all look at them together and say, hey,
Any seconds?
Second,
All in favor? Thank you. Thank you.
And you also need the survey, right? That's another
Yeah,
condition.
the final,
survey.
final location.
I mean, I have them with me, but you want you to see with the document.
Where the dots go.
All right, we move to the next on the agenda, which is 51 Judson Avenue, fence.
42.
42 Appleton, sorry. 42 Appleton.
So I've applied for a permit to put deer fencing in my backyard.
Yes.
This is the fencing.
And then we said, wooden posts instead of metal,
Okay.
so we had said metal, now it's gonna be wood. So like wood.
How tall is this gonna be?
6 feet.
6 feet. Okay,
Comments?
I'm fine.
Any comments? Okay, I make a motion to approve this fence as presented. Any second?
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Does that mean that we can go ahead and start tomorrow?
Ask
Yes.
Ed.
What? I thought that that was applied for. Wasn't it? It was. Yes, he did.
Okay, we make,
Can you tell us what that is?
next on the agenda is 51 Judson.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck with the deer.
I'm Justine Pearson, applying for a fence permit. 51 Judson. The fence is a 6-foot tall cedar fence along the front and the side of the property, and a black chain link along the rear of the property. Which is the master school.
Anybody in comments? I'll make a motion to approve this application as submitted. Any seconds?
Second? No.
Deeply seconds, all in favor? Unanimous. Next on the agenda is 11 Ashford Avenue.
How are you, Steve Chester and Deborah Wayne? Representing Phillips Hospital. They're in the property with Wolverines. And presenting two car signs. One in the front on Ashford is the same size as the Wolverines, but with their logo and their colors. And the one on the side is smaller to fit in that space with the same look. Car signs, both of them. The one on the side, that's their main entrance. So that's where they want the lettering on top of that awning which exists. So that's where people go in, there's an elevator in there, and that's the only way to get in. So it makes it very clear when you park there, that that's the way to go upstairs where the doctors are. So it's pretty much upscale stuff. There's a light already existing on the side entrance, we're not changing that, and in the front, we're not getting any light.
Okay.
Is the sign on the side the same height as the sign on the front?
It's straight to 6 inches. Oh, the height?
The height?
Yeah, 36 inches.
Oh,
72 by 26.
They're about the same height.
Just different widths.
It's just deceptive, right?
Yeah, it looks chunkier. I don't know why.
No, sorry, yes.
A little out of scale, but,
No, I think it's just the, it's fine.
Any comments there?
I think the sign itself is fine. I just think that blue box that has text in it, it's really, in this photograph, it's unreadable. So I'm just wondering if it's serving the purpose that you intend to serve with it.
Mm-hmm.
The Phelps Medical Associates Primary and Specialty Care.
Right.
It's like, it's so, when you look at your photoshopped image of that, it's almost, all you read is the blue box. It even pushes more than the logo of Northwell, which is very subtle on the left side. It's like very heavy.
Something to consider, but obviously Phelps Medical Associates is a division of the hospital and they're the ones occupying the space, so they wanted that added exposure. People don't go to Phelps Medical Associates. But that's a good point in terms of graphics. We'll lay it out, we'll do a good, see if we need to tweak that a little.
I mean, I just look at it and it just sort of, I see a big blue box and I see Walgreens.
How else would you?
I don't know the solution, but it just,
Why do you need to write Phelps Medical Associates?
Well,
And then
that's the
just,
tenant.
why don't you,
Right.
how about the Phelps Hospital?
Because it's a division
The
of
identity.
It's a
Phelps
division.
Hospital, right.
Okay. Look, if it's readable, it should be, from our point of view, I think it's fine. But it's, from your point of view, from the clarity point of view, it's your.
The client did review this and approve it, but it's a very good point, I'll take a second look at it.
You wanna take a look at it and,
But, I mean, that's just more internally in the design of the
That's
cottage,
fine.
okay? But we have your approval on the formal sign.
on the sign, the color.
on the
type,
sign color
yes.
type, yes.
All right, thank you.
So I make a motion that we approve it as submitted, and if you make a change, you're welcome to send us to review it, and we will approve it without you coming. So I have a second?
Second.
Approved.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Next on the agenda is 2 Castle Hill Close. It's a fence, right?
I've applied for a fence. It's going to be something in the side, well, there's a big people view here, so I want to put some things here to have more privacy. And, I think you have the one. And,
That's fine.
this is inside the property, that I want to do like a small garden.
Okay.
So it's like this. It's a 4 feet. Where is it?
Small.
And that's
Vinyl.
the
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
Okay. So I make a motion, we approve.
Okay, thank you.
Submitted. All in favor?
Yes.
Okay. Next on the agenda is 59 Waldrop.
It's just 2 minutes, right?
That's what I see. Go ahead.
Good evening, my name is Steve C. I'm an architect working with the Ahrb for the Brown Township family. The project really entails installation of 5 windows and the removal of 2 windows. One window is on the left side to give natural light to the bathroom. One set of windows is replacing a single window at the front underneath the gable of the second floor. And the fourth and fifth window is on the right side that replaces a single window that's in this room. The removal is the final cladding into 400 series. And the two batteries sizes all match adjacent windows.
You said that the simulated lights? Any comments? Brendan? Any comment, Brendan?
No.
All right, so we approve this application as submitted.
Thank you.
In a second.
Second.
All in favor? '62 Virginia. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
So, hello, thank you. My name is Peter Jean, I'm the architect for Anthony and Dayash Jandu, 62 Virginia Ave. And we were here at the last meeting, I believe, or maybe the one before, and we were discussing the addition, the second floor addition to the house. And our solution at the time, our proposal at the time, if you look on your second sheet, was what was called Scheme 3. That was our solution at the time, and we showed you the history of how we got there. And there were comments from the board that that one of our earlier schemes, which we couldn't do for structural reasons, because the foundations that we did build on the first floor foundations, existing foundations, they weren't adequate to build on. So we moved in a different direction, but the board noticed that that design was less, was more compliant, and it didn't extend beyond the sky exposure plane on the east side as much as the latest design did. So it suggested that we kind of look at those two designs, Scheme 1 and Scheme 3, and kind of come up with a hybrid solution, which is what we did. And so that's Scheme 4 from that sheet. And what we did was raise the roof. You know, the existing house is a half story on the second floor. And so there's a 4.5 foot knee wall. So what this current design does is brings it up to an 8-foot full wall with an 8-on-12 pitch, as it currently has. And then the second floor part of the addition that we had, we moved it 8 feet from the existing east wall of the house. Instead of being in line with that, we moved it to the west 8 feet and put a shed roof on top of that. There's a comparison there. You can look at how it affects the sky plane on each
All right, I'll start with Bill. First of all, I like the proportions of the house now as it is. I think it's an improvement from what we discussed last time. My only comment is just out of curiosity. Why is the garage door not centered in the bay?
I can show you.
Because I'm missing the ground floor plan.
Or does it stay the same?
Well, the ground floor plan, you have in the original submission.
Right.
But you don't have
But,
that here.
No,
You
we don't have it with us. Do you have
So-
one?
I apologize.
But,
I don't have that. But I can explain.
Isn't it?
So if you look at that elevation, you see the dash line is the existing.
Mhm.
Yes,
So-
I saw it.
So remember on the last one, we had that little opening on the edge.
Right.
Right.
We decided not to have it on this, so if we moved the door, it
No, no.
wouldn't, it wouldn't,
Maybe enlarge it, I would say.
well, but the wall of the garage is right there, it wouldn't really work.
So it wouldn't be inside the
It wouldn't be
garage?
inside the garage.
So if you make a walkway, like you had before,
Yeah, we could do that, the only.
and there is something off balance because it's
Yeah.
the way that is, even the center lines of
Right.
the door.
That's why we put the little, awning, little roof there, to sort of
Just
break
to
up
offset
that,
the-
To break
because
it up.
that's what it is, it's,
What is in
not
the space
symmetrical.
behind that? What is behind between the wall of the garage and the edge of the house? What is in that zone?
It's like
if you look
like a
at,
walk.
there's another sheet you got,
This one?
here are the elevations. This is that side, just looking at that side, so there's a little wing wall there,
Mhm.
but then it's a covered space. And you weren't here for the last meeting, so what, let's see, so these dash lines are the existing. We originally tried to put the addition onto the existing footing, but the footing is only 18 inches below grade. So there's no settling, but we couldn't put any more weight, so we had to offset and put a new foundation to carry a second floor addition in both the back and the west side.
I see.
What do you think?
I'm okay with it.
Hmm?
I'm fine.
Dale?
I do have one comment about, I mean, the intent of the last time we met was on the one side, I guess it's the west elevation. It was, we were trying to maintain, or the sky exposure plane was being impacted on one side by a lot, and then on the other by a little bit. It seems in the fourth scheme and the new proposed is that now it's still dramatically being impacted on both sides. Scheme one, it does look much better proportionally. I think the look of the house and the mat looks nice now, proportionally, but the overall height, it's still now, it now still on the one side does still cut into the sky exposure plane by a lot.
More so, yeah.
More so than it did in scheme one, and I think that was one of the biggest concerns from the last time we met, was that impact to that side, so.
Well, yeah, that's, I mean, we couldn't really avoid that, and I can show you what happens, like, or how it happens. These are lined up, okay.
No problem.
So, this scheme was when the
Right.
foundation was there, so we had to
Understood.
move that out, all right,
Mhm.
even compared to this one. So what happens, if you look on the side here, is that, if you compare these two side elevations,
I mean, I understand if this was to grow, right, because of the new footing, and because of the new side, and understanding how that impacts kind of the third bedroom, the closet layout, and all of the room layout associated with it. But this can grow this way and still, and be impacted, but not as great of a massing, I guess.
Well, what happened was we had to come out this way, and then also from this scheme to this scheme, we came up to. Because on this scheme, the roof was trying to keep to the original half-story height.
And now I like this better.
And so on this side, this was full on this side, then the half-story on that side, so that's what kept that low. But when we tried to, come to this more symmetrical design, that's just.
Yeah, it just kind of moves that way.
What happens, I mean, we try to be as light, as, it's, that was part of the thinking here, but, kind of create, I think in the end, that does increase that a little bit, but, it's probably a better, for everyone to say themselves, but.
I definitely think that the new scheme is the best of them, so.
Yeah, I think given the existing conditions of the way the property is, this is a good compromise.
That's, we go back to.
Okay. In terms of materials,
I didn't even know. What do we have?
the siding is a royal residential. Do you have a sample of the samples for the siding?
We got samples.
So it's in sterling, which is great. And, I believe this is the, what's it, wet, added wood.
What is wood, yeah.
Let me see. Which one?
I think it's that one. Also, I called for Burrell, this is the fascia and the trim around the door, like wood.
Do you have a material sheet or something?
It's on.
It's on this,
finished schedule.
this first drawing, photograph.
Oh, yeah.
Dale? I think you're right.
Yeah. Let's see if you have a different preference.
What is the,
Second, my wife looks,
This
this is the light. Oh, the light.
it seems like there's not a
Consensus.
final, I think
Does that,
we might have to look at it a little closer, but what is the process of this if we change colors or finishes from?
we can approve it without approving the siding,
The color.
the color
And
of
you
the
just need to
siding,
come
and
back.
then you need to come back to present it to us. But we can approve the rest.
Okay.
But you can approve it the way it is now.
Yeah, but if you want to decide on color, then we can do that, but if you want to change it.
This may not be the best match. I think it's either that
For the darker one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this one.
Is that the one?
And now you look at it.
Yeah. That's better
That's
than,
fine.
that's
Yeah,
better than this,
this
sure.
one- This would not be a good choice.
No, this is the.
Okay.
Final choice, okay. I think it's fine.
What's that?
Oh, that is the one.
That is the one.
Okay.
Okay.
It's better.
I knew you were right.
It would take
Okay.
into consideration everything you guys suggested. I was a little confused the last meeting, but.
No, I think that this is a good compromise. It's a difficult,
Yeah,
difficult
very
property,
Difficult
but
site.
good luck.
Thank you. Good luck.
Okay. So we make
It's a nice project. And you're in good hands.
So I make a motion that we approve this project as submitted. And I have a second.
Second?
Hmm? No, there is no changes. No changes to the finished
Submitted as
schedule.
approved.
The finished schedule, yes.
Okay.
All right, 548,
Good luck.
548 Broadway.
Good evening, ma'am, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carlos Morales. I'm representing Executive Construction. We've already received planning board approval, and now it's time to come for the architecture review board for lots 19 and 20.
One second. It is a pre-submission?
Sir?
You can approve this conditionally. The only thing is the lot numbers that we're waiting on.
The what?
The lot numbers from Greenberg to get into our system so I can actually apply this to a separate lot. But you could approve the architecture conditionally.
To finalizing. To finalizing.
Yes.
Lot numbers. Okay.
Okay, here to address the issues that were presented before. You wanted the dormers to be slid up above the gutter towards the roof, so that's what we did. We also added the corner board trim to make the house, to give the house a more symmetrical look, as well as remove the shape from around the entranceway, around the door. This is the other house. It's basically the same thing. We raised the dormers above the gutter towards the roof. Also added the corner board trim to create a symmetrical look on the house. We also removed the paneling as well as the shaping around the entrance door and reduced the size of the columns and the entrance of the house.
So we are now reviewing the first one, right?
2 or 3?
Are they both the same?
No,
They're similar.
it's similar.
They're replacing each other.
So this is, we're reviewing now lot 19, correct? This one.
19.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question on the front entry roof. For some reason, I'm not sure if I understand this, but it looks like, how far does it come out past the front? That doesn't seem like it matches what it's showing.
I think there is a mistake.
There's a
in the
mistake?
drawing. There should be a mistake.
It just looks more meaty on the front, but I don't think that that's correct.
I'm sorry, when you
Good. Yeah, can I show you? Can I show you here?
Because the,
Something comes out?
yeah, it recesses the entry set back.
Oh, it sits back from here, that's why. So then there's something, yeah, I don't think that this pops out the way you have it shown here. But then this goes back in again, right? So it just, I think there's something missing in terms of drawing on the way this is drawn.
I'm not sure what you mean.
You see this surface is set back,
Mhm.
right? And this roof comes out.
Yep.
So there should be a horizontal line somewhere where it goes back in again.
Okay, I understand what
Okay.
you mean.
And not only that, what it feels like is that this is sort of flapping in the wind. It doesn't have any support where it pops out over here, even though you're showing the brackets.
No,
These
but the
brackets are set back
But the
on this
brackets
wall.
are wrongly drawn
Yeah.
because they're set inside when the bracket may need to be outside.
On the outside, not only that, there probably needs to be some kind of a beam element to carry the
Right.
roof.
It should be
So-
it should be labeled on the actual floor plan, if you look at the first floor plan.
Yeah, but there is, look at
It's-
there is no,
The elevations are deceptive, you know, they just need to be, they need to be
Properly
drawn more accurately.
Okay.
Do you know who did the drawing?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I could,
there are
If
few
you-
mistakes. and
Yeah.
There are few issues.
Just the drawings need to be adjusted,
Okay.
okay, to reflect the correct architecture.
Okay.
Or I would suggest, why don't you do it a flat roof and just put some kind of a balcony, or a straight.
Yeah, I think
Would-
that's more attractive for the
will-
style of the house.
We will work better with the style of the house. Instead
Okay.
of,
We were just addressing the issues that were brought up the last review board. That's the only reason why, those are the only changes.
Which
okay,
had
so
to
let's,
do
let's
with the-
start with the good
With the
things.
materials, yes.
It's getting there.
Okay.
Okay, we may need to have another round of adjustments, but I think the house is much better than what was before. There are a few issues that I would like to discuss with you. We would like to discuss, okay? I'll let.
No, go
Dick-
ahead.
No, just finish what you were.
No, I was just mostly commenting on this front entrance,
Okay.
that if we can adjust the drawings to reflect the architecture, it would be helpful.
So you're saying that you want the,
But I think that what his suggestion is
Okay, so
probably, so why don't you go ahead?
let me just try, okay? Remember, these are all suggestions.
okay,
If you do a flat or roof with some kind of a railing, so we see a more formal element, it might benefit than a sloped roof. And that might not increase by a lot the cost.
okay.
Okay, the second thing is the brackets. Brackets, I think there's a mistake in the drawing. They cannot be that way because they are set back. If you decide to make it like that, we can look into it, if you like the brackets there, but I think that may be a problem.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that the brackets are there. I mean, there's beams that are sized on there, and it was approved by the planning board as well, and it's also,
No, we're talking about the aesthetics,
okay.
okay? I'm not
Not
saying-
a support standpoint.
Well, it's the support you need, of course you need, but if you have a beam and two
It's gonna
brackets,
show.
it's gonna show.
Yeah.
The size of the beam, it's gonna.
You need to see a horizontal element here which is not shown. This is just the gutter that you're showing. How is the roof being picked up? You need,
The roof, I believe, is being cantilevered. If you look at the first floor plan.
Yeah,
it
but
should
you
be-
can't
Yeah.
deliver, look,
That's
this is
correct.
what you do, right? This is, you cannot have it, somewhere
gonna-
you need, this is
fall down.
flapping. You need to pick up something,
Well, what,
and then.
this comes up from this piece that you see here, that comes up from the house. It comes up,
That's correct. You're showing it over here,
yeah,
right?
that's what's
So
picking up the
what
road.
happens is that when this comes here, there needs to be something that picks up every piece of rafter that comes down.
Right. Maybe if you do a section, you will understand that, a section through here.
And not only that, as it comes out past this corner, this is not shown correctly. It needs to, it does something else. I don't know, I'd have to draw this out, but it needs to come down and it comes across here.
Yes.
It becomes like this and then it comes down, but where it comes out, you will have no support unless you ask the person who drew this to show you how they're gonna support that roof.
I think that there is also a problem
With the-
at here,
Oh, okay.
because
Probably
it's
the
a similar,
same-
it's a similar
similar
issue.
thing, yeah.
At the end, yeah.
What,
Yeah.
the overhang?
There is no overhang, there is a gutter attached to,
Correct,
there is a detail that is missing,
that is missing.
Well,
that will affect the aesthetics of the house.
You see, when this is drawn here, you're only showing the gutter, but there is a vertical element that comes across here.
it should be in the house, the actual, we have a section views where
Okay.
how the house is here.
It doesn't show that roof, how that roof gets carried.
See, that, this section is not your house. Okay, you see here? This,
Yeah, overhang.
the overhang, there is an overhang that is not showing in this. You see here?
There is no overhang, it would be
This is a-
out
this is a-
here.
This is a typical detail.
Well, that's
From
how
a-
all of our houses are built.
I wouldn't mind this
I
detail.
will take this.
Yeah, this, you know, because then it comes out. There is an overhang and it creates a shadow line. It's a much nicer detail than what's
Your
drawn
elevation
here.
doesn't match your detail.
So I think that you need to go back to the person who drew these drawings and have them adjusted so that everything is synchronized.
I understand.
And then you may want to look at how, if this is recessed and this pops out, how that's going to come together.
Let me make a few more comments, so when you go
Go.
back, you just attach. My personal preference, the oval may not be as desirable as a square glass, if you want to do a square. Much in line like the other door,
The other building.
across, which is a more, I think, elegant for the type of house that you're doing. It's more consistent with the type of, that's my opinion. The little shutters next to the small windows, they look silly, my opinion.
I agree.
Take them out and leave the windows.
Leave the windows, it's fine.
Just take them out. Okay? And if the windows are small windows, it's fine. You don't need to have it. You need to have
But
it.
these aren't any new changes from the last time.
We are making discussions. We can.
I understand.
The other things, I understand the symmetry, which is good, but you may want to do the same trick that you're doing on the front to the side. If you resist a little bit and you make a shadow line, then the house will read much stronger.
Okay.
I'm talking about recessing the same as you're recessing here. So the same level here, the same level as here. Just a little bit. And I saw in the plans, there is no sacrifice to
It
square
doesn't matter.
footage. It won't change anything, and it will have a nicer reading with the house. It will be like a nice break, and I think the house will look better. Now, you see the detail that you do here? You see the detail of the corners, how it comes down? And you see it here, there is something missing, because the stone, first of all, you have to decide, if this is the detail, you may want to make it consistent. And if the stone goes up, you know, it doesn't, I assume this is stone. So the way that the stone is shown is not matching the side elevation. It's
Yeah,
talking
because
about
it's not, yeah.
this detail doesn't
Correct.
wrap around correctly.
Correct. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is, though.
I think
This
it's
is, I think
stone.
he's showing,
It's stone, I
yeah.
believe it's
But somehow he needs to cap,
to carry
Cap
the
it,
detail
yeah.
or cap it, or there is a way that, you're gonna have that problem when you start building this house.
correct, otherwise you'll have a leakage problem over there, you know, in terms of how it comes together. What it is also is that, I wouldn't try to give you a hard time, but it's just gonna be an untidy detail when you build the house.
Okay.
So you might want to just tell the person who's putting this together for you.
Just to carry the corners, you know.
Well,
To
that
wrap-
stone
wrap
isn't
around.
gonna match on that side because that stone is on this side of the house where the stairs are.
But where
That's
this
what
is,
we're-
this is the portion you're showing?
Well, yeah, this is that's the front elevation,
Yes.
and that's where the stairs are. So
Correct,
that's what you're looking at.
correct. So what is that?
That's what's shown, that's like a,
That's
that's a
this.
stone wall, that's what's
Yeah,
shown right
that's
there.
this over here.
Is this-
Okay.
But still, there is a problem with the drawings.
What problem? I don't see the problem here.
Look at. you
Does the
see detail
stone
here?
carry all the way around? The stone carry all the way around at the base? Similar to how this looks? Does
Well,
it
no,
wrap
that's
around?
just showing a stone wall, which is on that side.
Okay.
But then this is stone too over here, right? This whole thing on the bottom.
What is
the
that?
That's
stone?
because there's stairs.
No,
What's
but
beyond-
this is a
what's
wall.
beyond her?
The stairs are here, right? What is this surface when you look at this? Because that's what's showing here, right?
That's stone.
Right,
It's a
so
stone wall.
So the stone carries.
carries through,
Comes all the way in.
so you need to show that.
So you gotta show the stone as it carries through and then carry around and wrap the elevation.
And does it carry through this way underneath?
I would,
The stone's not carrying all the way through like you're just throwing because you're walking up those stairs.
hold on.
No, but it's
I
a
don't think I
wall.
understand what you guys are saying.
This stone carries above grade, right? Here's grade,
Yep.
here's the elevation above grade, here's grade. This area here, is this all stone to match as the same
That's
line
this.
around? Is what we're at. I guess that's the,
Oh, no.
And
That's
then
not
all
stone.
of this.
so then how do you make the transition from stone at this corner
See this?
to whatever this finish is?
What is this over here?
If this isn't stone, you're,
And all of this?
this corner is gonna be stone on one side and then a different finish on the other side. So how do you waterproof it? How do you make your transition of material? It's not, this joint just doesn't make
Because
sense.
if you don't have stone here, you're gonna see waterproofing, or you're gonna see your insulation boards, or something that's visible that certainly would not be acceptable to you or us. So that's the question we have, and I think that as pointed out, is that detail doesn't match what's going on at the end here.
Wait, now that's
Okay,
just a typical detail that's how all of our
No,
houses.
I understand, but if you apply that detail, that typical detail to your
so it
house,
doesn't work.
it's gonna be a different look.
Gotta change the roof.
Then we change the aesthetics of the house.
Yes.
You're better off having it right and making the decision
An engineer.
on paper than on the site, and it's gonna cost more money.
Site plan with landscaping.
Yeah, and we need a site plan also, because another thing that is missing is what's happening to the front. You know, you're showing 3 steps here,
Mhm.
right? But if I go to the plan,
No, but even over here, there's, I guess there's 3 steps
yeah,
here.
but I don't see it here, you see it's not drawn. Something's missing at this level. And you're gonna see it on the site plan. If you provide us with a site plan, we will understand what's happening.
Okay.
Now, last one,
Are these the same? They're different?
yeah, last one. You may wanna consider again the proportions of the window inside the mansard, dormers, okay? Because they seem a little larger than they should be. At least if you drop it a little bit and give it some room to frame the sides. And I believe this is a trim. What material is this? It's a trim?
It's a trim.
It's a trim this size? You may wanna review it, revise it, because the proportions are a little off. And now you did all the effort on doing asymmetrical composition, why don't you add another? You may wanna look into it,
Okay.
okay?
All right, is this all pending the approval? Is there these suggestions?
This,
Because
I believe you will get it approved, but I believe that you make the extra stretch, extra effort, it's gonna be a better house.
You're gonna have to
Okay.
come back.
Yes, there are a lot of things that are undefined, such as the detail, this detail, and how it applies, that is gonna change, like it or not.
And the
The
front
facade
roof.
and the sound, yeah.
Okay.
This is not properly drawn,
Okay, let me just write everything down. Yeah.
Sure.
and this is only on the 19, okay?
And you're saying that I have to show this. Could you show me on here? Exactly, what exactly do we need for the next meeting?
First, I would suggest to eliminate these shutters. Second, revise and review the brackets, how they work.
No, how the roof cuts in.
And then this is something that you will like to see, how really works in
supported,
geometry,
yeah.
supported.
Or if they would
And
consider doing, you know, the.
I would suggest to make a real section
through the-
through the center of the house. A real section to here,
A section of the house?
a section. You know, the typical section that you have. Let's see how
But
it
with
works in your house.
with the roof.
Yeah, and look at this, these details, these
The
things,
overhang doesn't compute with this.
you know, these details, the overhangs.
If you can ask the person who drew the plans, can he reflect that
That's the
over
stoop.
here? Because this over here does not match this. If you were to say that this is the same profile as that, this overhang doesn't match at all. This otherwise would come out.
That overhang is the front of the house, it's the front gutter.
No, we understand that, but what I'm saying is,
This
she's
is like
saying
a
is that
2-foot.
the detail, the typical detail that you're using is not the detail of the house. You have to choose
See,
which
this,
one.
this is 2 feet over here. This is not even 6 inches on this side. I
This is only-
prefer to see this.
That's not 2 feet, our typical overhangs are usually 1 foot, but that's not 2 feet, that's not the scale.
So which one it is? The detail or the house?
It's the house.
So where's the detail?
This is the typical section detail.
Fair enough. Make a real detail and
You
you'll
can-
find
I'll
out,
just show
and
it to us.
especially on the,
So you're gonna show
the
this
roof?
detail with the dimensions of how far that comes out?
no, make a section to the house,
A true detail.
a true
Let
detail.
this reflect this, or this reflect that. But
If this
these
doesn't
two
re-
don't match.
If this doesn't reflect what this is, it shouldn't be on the drawings. You can put a typical drawing here to show some of these things, but you can't ask us to look at a typical detail here if it's not gonna match what's gonna be at the front.
If you project
You also should
these
never
lines
put not to
across-
scale on an architectural detail, in my opinion. It should be to scale and it should be drawn by, or
What's
in a
happening
manner
is
that-
this doesn't match this, so that's.
that's the
And you'll
problem.
find out that it doesn't match when they draw the
When they,
detail.
when they start building it.
Well, no, when they draw the detail,
Yeah.
you'll discover what's wrong with it.
Material, consistency, right?
And then, yeah, material, yeah. you can put that
Material, you know, what material is this? What material is that?
Material.
You know, like, what is the base of the,
I'm sorry, I'm asking you to write this, but I can't forget half the stuff.
No, I know, I'm okay with it, don't worry. What material? Define. Also here, what is this?
And then smaller window, I agree with you.
Yeah,
This looks a little out of proportion, if you're okay with using a smaller window.
that's just truly attic space too, is it not?
Yeah.
It's not
What
usable.
is it?
yeah, it's an attic
Is it
space.
occupied?
It's an attic space. And I will, I
Or
don't
they can
know,
put a
I
casement in
agree.
there like you drew.
what do you think? A third,
I think it would look much better symmetrically if that had a separate third.
if you want.
Would you consider doing that? It
That's,
just
I
looks.
can't make that call.
Right.
it's an extra cost, I know, but just you may have a better attic anyway.
Okay.
So the other thing
The
is.
door as well,
Huh?
the door as well, the round door.
The doors, you know, we prefer
We
this.
prefer that.
And the other thing, I think for the size of windows that you're using, the 6/6 will look better than the 8/8. But,
I would agree with that. And not only
you know
that,
what I'm saying is, you know what the 6/6 is?
Yeah.
Less pains.
Yeah, it's,
just less busy.
you have more view. So, we suggest 6/6. The other thing is also this,
I would continue that as one arch continuously.
yeah, make it
One
continuous,
continuous piece, it'll look more, you know.
it's simplify it, and it's better.
Well, what are the critical ones here, or what is your suggestion, because that's what.
You choose, you have to, by the time that you finish all the details, you're gonna look at it, and of course, you're gonna build it and like it.
I understand, well, I'm basically asking, what's gonna get me approved, is what I'm saying, what are the critical ones?
A good
What is
looking
really
house,
bothering you the most?
a good looking house will get you.
I understand, I think it's pretty good looking.
It will be, it will be. Don't despair, it's fine. Okay, so as long as the documents are consistent and accurate, for example, you understand, look, you see this, the corner piece? Here it works one way and here you have the other way. See, it's a different, look at the stone. The stone is here or it's in this plane. So just build the drawing properly and you'll find out it's gonna be a better house.
When you build it, you know, if you don't work these details out, you're gonna find that things just don't work out.
And the last suggestion will be this plane, which is set to the same as this. So the house will be front, you know, the frontage of the house will pop. This will recede a little bit, just as much as this one, and it will be a nice.
And then this will make more.
Yeah.
You know, there'll be more
This
reason.
is a corner.
It gives it a
You
reason.
wanted to be flush with this area in the house.
We want this to be flush with that.
This
Yes.
at the same level.
So can you set that back
Set it back.
10
Same.
inches? You have it set
Set
back.
this back.
Set it back
You're gonna make a
portion.
smaller house.
10 inches.
Here, it's right here in plan, take a look. This is a bathroom, you're gonna drop that wall back in the same alignment with this wall over here. It takes 10 inches off the front here. That's what he's saying, just to slide this back slightly, and this will read, and it'll be a more attractive.
a mud room that it's not gonna do anything if you, nothing's gonna happen.
Truly, all you're gonna do is move the closet over and shorten the bench. There's no change really to the overall area of the house, it's minimal. But what this does is it will make that read more, in a more appealing way.
Okay, I understand.
Now, many of these comments are the same comments for the other house, which we can go to the next one. And the only suggestion I will make is, if you decide to have these classical columns, you have to locate them properly, or where they are now, they are not properly located. Right. They are just
Column?
the columns. If they go at the corner, at the ends, you move it at the ends, and or where they are now, it's cartoonish.
I don't understand, what's the problem with they are now?
Can you show on the floor plan where they would be? Because they're not shown on the floor plan, you're not showing the porch.
See here, see at the corner, you see here, are the columns outside or inside? Or like they are applied to the facade?
It's the same thing, I don't think, yeah, I don't think it works the way you have it shown.
How far they are in the house?
Well, you have to show them.
Can I show you something? Look, this is what's gonna happen, okay? We're not trying to give you a hard time, but typically what's gonna happen is that your porch is gonna come out, something like this, right? Where you're showing the columns, you're showing them somewhere in here. Whereas your roof, according to that side, comes out, right? So your columns want to be somewhere
At the end.
here.
Yeah.
at the ends. And then what's gonna happen is that you need a beam to support your rafters. That's the same issue with the other one, so it's not drawn correctly.
So you just want me to show the location of the columns on the floor plan?
Correct.
No, you have to build it. Building a drawing is like building a house.
But where you have it
But you have,
shown
when you see the how to build this thing,
yeah,
it's not supporting anything.
It's not supporting anything, because you would see them
They're
on the
decorative
side.
elements, you don't, if you didn't have them, it wouldn't matter.
They need to be.
That said, I think that this lot 20 house, it's more successful than lot 19.
Well, this whole resolution is very different.
Yeah.
Does that come out forward?
I will suggest for you to do this. Look into that if you can. Right?
Perhaps on one of the houses, yeah.
Yeah. Look at-
Architecturally, I think it would be more successful.
Even if it's not accessible?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look around.
definitely.
All right.
You indicate on this? You want?
Yeah. So the same comments as before. If you can do a section, if you can locate the columns where it should be, and also, just don't forget to draw the stoop or whatever you're doing, or the front porch. The columns
let's say if you go from edge to edge, you may wanna have them
Come out.
come out.
Yeah.
You can even, you can have a double column if you want, if you decide, double would work too. Then this, we suggest this to be aligned. Right? So,
Oh, the step, okay. I see where it's
just,
at.
just a little bit, you'll see that, you know, the entire thing will be much stronger. Now, if you decide to, that is affordable, to put this, look into the size of the trim and the proportion of the window. 6/6 is a preferable.
What size around window do you want trim preferably? You want 6 inches, 8 inches?
This should be about 6 inches. It's something that is visual. You have to do it, look at it, and if it looks.
Are you using trim around these windows?
Yeah, also another one.
If you can show trim. Are you using trim around the windows?
No.
No. Sort of contrasts with, you know, using the thick corner boards and not having trim around them. Can you consider using trim? It's just inconsistent, the detailing.
Same comments as the other one, pretty much. You'll see by the time that you spend some time drawing it better, the house will look much better. And next time, if you can bring samples of this, we'll appreciate it. Some, you know, just a small samples of. Okay.
Any other comments?
I think you got enough for today.
Sure. I just don't want any more. The next one is.
No,
We can consider all this and make all the changes. Because we already got started in the house. So.
You won't finish, that's what we're saying. This plane and this are in the same
Yeah, I
plane.
understand.
And that makes a difference. It makes that shadow line where the street's symmetrical now.
Yes?
I'll consider it.
Okay, so we make a motion to continue this application for the next meeting? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So no minutes
Anyways,
to review.
Michael's not here, so
By now there are hours, not minutes, but,
do we have them?
No. So, we don't. So, we make a motion to adjourn? To continue minutes and to continue minutes and to adjourn. Any second? 50 seconds, all in favor?